really excited about the win. As I said before the game, there's really not a lot of carryover in terms of what we did today with what we're going to have to do next week, but I certainly was really pleased with the defensive effort in the second half. Just tremendous. They had a 3-and-out, a 3-and-out, a 5-and-out. Would have caused fumbles, 6 and a punt, 4 plays. Another fumble, 4 plays, stopped them on downs. It was just a tremendous effort, I think, on defense in the second half. Great job by Coach Smith and the staff of getting us to just play a little bit better. I didn't think we were that far off in the first half. I think the difference is when you play against this offense, if you're just a little bit off, the runs are 5 yards long. That's what happens. And you're tackling them on, and you're just not quite there fast enough. But it looked like in the second half we were able to catch up to the speed with which they run their offense, and that was good. I was disappointed to have 2 penalties on the first drive, but really excited that on the second drive of the game we played good football. 11 plays and a touchdown. That was good. Not consistent enough, I don't think, on offense for what we want to be as the season goes on. But again, this defense is unique, and next week will be a completely different defense. So we will take from it what we can, and then really get back to work tomorrow as quickly as possible, because we got a very tough game on the road at Cincinnati next week. Questions?
Well, speaking of defense, you guys were on the field 33 more plays than them on defense, and those 2 block punts. Talk about how important they were to you.
The 2 block field goals?
Block field goals.
I think they're critical. Certainly they keep the game 7-7 at halftime as opposed to 13-7, and I think they're momentum swings in the game. I think those are things that get you excited and really keep the defense going sometimes. You're in a 7-7 game, and I think blocking kicks is part of our culture. It's something we want to do every week. I felt we'd have a chance to do it this week. I feel like we have a chance to do it every week. And I think the guys did a great job. I think, if my information's right, I think Coop got one and Jamal Norrell got another one. So that's good. That's good. I thought we'd have a chance. I thought Jeremy Deering was going to go on that kickoff return too, and just kind of got hit in the leg or the ankle, whatever it was, and they got him down. I thought we'd have another chance for another big play on special teams. But no, I think they're big plays in the game for sure. Anytime you can keep a team from putting points on the board, it helps.
How much did you have to be patient with your offense this game and not try to get out of character? It was still 7-7 with 8.5 minutes to play the game. Were you tempted to get a little out of character? Did you have to fight that?
It felt a little bit like last year, and you were almost prophetic, with what you asked me the other day about limited possessions. When you go to halftime and you've only had 3 possessions in the game, you say, goodness gracious, how many are we going to have in the second half? Because we have 3 again, and we were fortunate that wasn't the case. I think you have to be. I don't think you want to get outside your comfort zone unless you really have to. And we were fortunate. I think the defensive effort in the second half allowed us to do that. They allowed us to be a little bit more patient, because I had confidence that even if we did punt it to them, we were going to have a chance to stop them and keep it a 7-7 game until we could make enough plays.
Kyle, in the second half, was it just a matter of being more precise, or were there any adjustments made defensively to slow them down?
Oh, I'm sure. I think there are always little adjustments that go on in every game, but I don't think there was any change in philosophy. There certainly was no change in scheme. There was no radical difference in how we lined up on defense. I just think we were able to see it a little bit better. And that's what happens when you play these teams. You hope you can just hang on long enough until you can see it. And then once you start to get comfortable with the speed of it, you have a chance to get stops.
Coach, how would you evaluate Gary's performance? I mean, high completion percentage, game-winning touchdown pass, but it seemed like the game plan didn't really call for him to take many risks after last week's interceptions.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I think every week I grade Gary on how well he runs the plays we give him. And I'm very pleased with how he played the game today. The one interception is on the receiver, really not on Gary. It was a good pass. It should have been caught. It kind of gets tipped up in the air, and their kid made a nice play on it. But we're pleased with what he did. I think it's easy for a play caller to be aggressive when you're on schedule. But when you have the first drive of the game where we have 2 penalties on that drive, then the first drive of the second half we have a penalty. When you're behind the sticks, so to speak, it's hard to be aggressive as a play caller. It's just the percentages are against you. The more you stay on schedule, the more opportunities there are going to be to push the ball down the field.
With the halfback option that James did, was that something you guys have been working on, or did you see something in the Army defense?
I don't know if there's anything specific to Army. It was a play we've had here before. I think I remember Cordell Young at Cincinnati in '08 threw it for a touchdown. And I think we're a team that does run the toss play, and I think most teams that do that have that toss pass, so to speak, in the playbook. So it's something we work on week to week, and if we see an opportunity in a game where they're supporting very quickly, it gives you a chance maybe to hit one. I don't know if they supported that quickly on that play. There seemed to be a guy back there with Brandon, and he made a pretty athletic move to make sure he came down with the ball.
Hey Kyle, how about capping a tumultuous two-week period with a positive result?
I can only hope that we gave some of the people who've really been put out by the hurricane a little bit of an escape for 3 to 3.5 hours today. There's certainly a lot of things going on here in our own state, in Staten Island, in Long Island, much more important than a football game. But if we were able to do that, and we were able to hopefully raise some money and provide some much needed coats and clothing as the weather turns here a little bit, then we have a chance to have made a difference today. And I think that's part of our responsibility.
Kyle, with their miscues on the punts, the shank, and the high snap, how much do you think that has to do with your guys' reputation at blocking punts?
I don't think it's been an issue for them before today, so I don't know if maybe they just had a bad day or maybe that had something to do with it. I think the people we play certainly know we're gonna try to block the punt because it's what we do, and you have to really ask them if that played on it. But I don't think it was an issue for them before today. Sometimes the kid may have just had a bad day.
Coach, what happened with Jamison, and then what was the thought process in bringing him back? I know he hurt. It looked like his ankle or something.
Yeah, it was a lower body injury, and if he's not 100%, I have a lot of confidence in Savon to go in there and do a nice job running the ball, which I think he did. And then there was a point where we felt like he was 100%, so we give an opportunity to run the ball a little bit more.
Coach, when you look back on this, do you sit there and say we escaped in a game where we didn't play our best, or how do you look at it?
Well, I think if you say that, you're not really giving them the credit that they deserve. I think if you put the film on and you watch them play game in and game out, Coach Ellerson's got a really good football team. And as he has said, their record doesn't necessarily reflect that, but they're very difficult to play against. I think we worked really hard for that win today, and I'm really proud of the way that the players did, work from the moment we started 2 weeks ago till now to try to get the opportunity to defend that scheme and execute an offense against a unique scheme they have on defense. So no, I don't look at it like that. I think Division I football games are too hard to win to look at it like that. So I'm proud of the effort today. Certainly some mistakes we need to get cleaned up. And then next week, tomorrow we'll start looking at the different schemes and the matchups and the personnel that we're going to have to go against when we play Cincinnati.
Coach, what is it that allows your safeties to both make significant contributions in a game where they don't see as much passing as they normally would?
When you play a team like this, you have to rely on your safeties and run support every play. That's their job. Their role changes for a week, as does the role of a lot of people. Almost everybody on the defense's role changes, for the week, maybe with the exception of the corner that might be playing man-to-man on a receiver. So it's really everybody on defense that has to adjust to what they're going to see that week. And we're fortunate here that we've got safeties that we use in run support against conventional offenses, and certainly have to use them a lot more when you play an option team.
Got time for 2 more.
8-1 heading into the final pregame stretch. I don't know if you saw Louisville lost today, but you just talked about being in the driver's seat and heading into the only Big East games in man.
I don't see it as a driver's seat. I think I did not know that was the outcome of that game, but I'm never surprised in this league by any outcome. From top to bottom, it's an extremely competitive league, and for us to be thinking about any 3 games would be a big mistake, and I don't think the team will do that. We have 1 game, 1 opportunity to be 1-0 next week against Cincinnati, and we need to do everything we can when we come back tomorrow to make sure we're moving towards that 1 game, because it's the only one that we have any control over.
Kyle, and how was Sybil?
I don't know that yet. I have not. I have not seen the trainers yet to know if Andre has how long he'll be out for. But I thought Taj did a pretty good job when he was in there. And I would end with this comment to Robert Martian, whose wife Diane and children were here today at the game, and it was one of the gentlemen who presented us that flag and sent that flag over here to the States. And I know they have a little tradition over there in Afghanistan where they fly the Rutgers flag after victories. So I look forward to seeing somewhere on the internet a picture of that flagpole in Afghanistan with the Rutgers flag flying high. Thank you for coming.